has been something that I've been meddling with for many years. There's a lot of things that we're doing in our call centers with AI on effectively managing and controlling the sales reps. So that's going to be a pretty big segment in Colombiacon too.
We had this idea to have a mastermind in Colombia because the people are fucking great people. They work hard, so labor is cheaper, and it's fun over there, man.
When holding an event in another country, there's could be 101 things that can go wrong. I'm not saying we did the event with flying colors. We did have our hiccups, but we pulled it off. After Colombiacon, with our Colombiacon crew, I held a AI system development call. So our goal is to not only have the Colombiacon, but also do upkeeps with everyone that's in the community on what we're working on. Hey, this is the latest AI thing. You guys should hop on it. We want light bulbs to go off in people's head.
That's really what it is. And that's the goal of LFG, Colombiacon, a community. How do we fucking grow together?
This Colombiacon, we had a media buyer focused Colombiacon. We still want to keep it a little bit media buyer focused, but we talked about bringing some heavy hitter buyers, right?
We're going to bring some advertisers to the next one. We're here in RoofCon, right? And there is a big wave right now in home improvement. And think about it. It's not a matter if, it's a matter of when you got to replace your roof.
This is essentially like Medicare for home improvement, right?
Exactly.
Because at 65, you need Medicare.
Home improvement's very competitive. You got to get innovative, come up with different ideas because everyone's doing the same shit. How do you step ahead is what it comes down to. Get ready to level your shit up with the LFG show. We travel the globe to bring you heavy hitters from all walks of life. We've been talking some serious business, from the best digital marketers, government contracting experts, to top athletic and celebrity doctors. We've got it all covered. We're talking to guys with cash in for billions with a B. And the best thing is, we're just getting started. So hold on tight. We're about to crank it up a notch. Get ready for next level networking and masterminds within the LFG community. Scared money don't make no money or honey. Hit the subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment, and let's fucking go. Word is bond. We had RoofCon. Yo, they ever say that in your generation? Word is bond?
This word is bong?
Word is bond, baby.
This is bong or bond?
Word is bond.
Oh, word is bond. Absolutely, absolutely.
Word is bond. We're at RoofCon. I'm with my man, Samar Hussain. He's the head honcho, otherwise known as the Jefe of Econ Producers. Great fucking guy. I've known you, man. I've known you for just over a year, but I feel like I've known you for even, like, we've done a lot of shit together in a short amount of time, man. Yeah.
A lot. A lot. We had some pretty successful campaigns with one another.
Yes.
And I believe you said this to me once, that you can launch like 30 campaigns and none of them hit. We've launched like when we launched that one campaign, it was a hit, right?
Right from the
right from the start. So that's essentially like it's like launching creatives. When you launch that creative and it does like 200-300% on the first day, you know that creative is gonna go for the long run, right? And I feel like that's how our relationship started, right? We had something good that hit off, and everything that we've done has hit.
100%. And I know we're at RoofCon. We'll talk about that great show. But before that, let's talk about Colombiacon.
Yeah,
right? That's kind of like a campaign we ran. Honestly, when you think about it.
Honestly, it was a campaign. It was a very stressful campaign, but let alone it was a great campaign. And I'm ecstatic that it went as planned. Right, when holding an event in another country, there's could be 101 things that can go wrong, right? I'm not saying we did the event with flying colors. We did have our hiccups. We did have our issues, but we pulled it off.
Yeah, and just so everyone knows what we're talking about, Samar goes back and forth between with your brother Sal lives in Medellín,
Sal,
right?
Yeah.
But you go there X amount of time per year. You have a business down there as well. We'll talk about that. And then you're in Florida, and close to me. We're close to each other in the Miami area. So, and I have, my wife's from Colombia. I have a call center down there. I go there pretty often. My mom's Venezuelan, so I speak Spanish. But the point is that we had this idea to have a mastermind in Colombia because, bro, Colombia is just fucking, we love Colombia. Colombia's just got, man, the people are fucking great people, that they work hard, cost of labor is cheaper, and it's fun over there, man. And you have a fucking great time for like no money, and there's a lot of talent. Latin America's growing like crazy. I mean, did I miss on anything there? I mean, I could talk about fucking Colombia for days.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
To me, I find Colombia to be a place where I can go and I can work, right?
Yeah.
Because there's, to me, in my opinion, when I don't have boys hitting you up, hey, there's a Heat game or this or that or that, I'm so secluded, and I feel like everyone needs that time to themselves to build themselves. And I actually am able to build really, really good things by sitting at my place there.
Yeah.
And I don't have to get out. I don't go out. If I, obviously, if we do have like a really killer week, yeah, I'll maybe go out here and there. But when you've been going there for so long, you don't want to do anything. You're so comfortable at home. You have someone coming to your house every day for 7, 8 hours that cooks and cleans. You're getting food. I just want my
Great
laptop.
food too.
Great
Yeah.
food. I just want my laptop.
Mm.
That's all I want. And I'm able to really build some really good applications, build better process flows for the team. And that's the most important part.
Yeah, I can see that. I've had, it's funny, in Colombia, I've had some of my best weeks in the business in terms of revenue numbers. Like, I don't know what, it's like, I attract good shit when I'm over there, right? I try to convince my wife, we moved to Miami, I try to convince her, let's go to Medellín for a year, because I would like supercharge the call center. You know, she's got her whole routine in Miami, she didn't want to really do it, but we go pretty often. But going back to Colombiacon, we had this idea, and you were so instrumental, and you and your brother, man, like, God, man, because you need, like anything else, you need the right team, you need the right partnership to make it happen. That proximity, you guys already being there. Like, I have people down there too, don't get me wrong, but you guys are already there. And because of that, we were able to collapse time frames. And just so you know, when you guys know what happened, what happened was we had a mansion in a beautiful part of town. I don't know where the miscommunication happened, but we had a bunch of guys with us. It was Dennis Gonchar, Drew Platt, and Michael Walker. They knock on the door, ready to go. And then they I don't know how the hell they got inside. Someone let them in. And then they see a bunch of guys at a pool. These guys are having like a bachelor party. They thought it was like new affiliates they never seen in their life. I'm like, this is pretty cool. This is great, because you go to these shows, everyone knows each other. These must be some under the radar affiliates. It turned out they crashed a bachelor party. So somehow the person we got it through, they double booked the freaking mansion. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Now
but you and I, we were stressed, man. But we made it work. We got a better spot.
We got
an even better time. So shit worked out. That's the only real hiccup we had, man,
so
honestly.
I feel like it's all about improvising, because things will never go the way that they are planned to go, right? And if they do go as they're planned to go, you're living in a false reality, in my opinion. We had a hiccup, and we were able to really, we secured the next house in 30 minutes. I actually was running an entire call. I was in the call center at the time when all this was happening. Walker's calling me, hey, I'm like, yeah, just pull over, get over to the Airbnb, everything's gonna be good. It's a whole nother party there. So in 30 minutes, I had to get away and get into my work zone. I'm calling people. First we're on the phone with the realtor. Yeah. Hey, what's going on? Right. Then I'm like, yo, we got to figure this out. Secured the house on. I sent I'm like, you know what? I cannot have any of these affiliates. I consider, Walker did win Super Affiliate of the Year. Right. So super affiliates are going to this place. And I was like, okay, we got the next house. I sent one of my call center guys. I gave him money for a taxi. And I was like, why don't you go to this house? I want you to walk through the entire house. Before I send any of my guys there, I want to make sure that this house is ours. Calls me up, hey, it was all the way up in the mountains. He calls me up, hey, everything looks good. I was like, put me on the phone with the realtor. Hey, I'm going to be sending over a couple of guys. Everything is good. Okay, cool. So yeah, man, we had quite a few hiccups at the Colombiacon, but I just want to thank first of all you, and then not only that, I want to thank Sal. Yeah. Right? Because Sal was like, I called Sal and I said, Sal, I have this problem. Sal just said, all right, send everybody to my house while we get this figured out. I'll have the chef start making food right now. And then we had 15 guys pull up. Yeah. We get there, food is ready. They're IV drips. IV drips. We had the IV guy. We had to recover, man. We had to recover. We had a lot of, like I said, the team, right? Because Sal's my business partner, and he has been ever since we were, I don't know, 8, 9 years old selling candy in school, right? So we've always been partners in everything that we did. And he's a partner of mine for any business venture that I do, any business venture he does, right? Because we complement each other, just like how we complement each other. Sal is essentially like that for me. So Yeah. I just want to thank Sal. Sal really helped out.
There's a new endeavor called Roofs in the Box. It's just, man, from day one, it's taken off.
When I first started getting into the roofing industry, what was happening was my fixed costs were always there. And so for me, I was looking at how can we kind of, one, save on these costs, and then two, how do I not lay people off during down times? But also maybe even the ability to pocket more money during the slow season or even the peak season. Since we've done this before, like with our lead gen companies where we have virtual staffing and from Argentina or Colombia, I'm like, why don't we do the same thing in the construction business? Now, once we figured it out, so we reduced their fixed cost by 70%. And so now during the downtime, they have real seasoned veteran type of players. But during the uptime, they pocket 70% of their operational costs are now going back in their pocket. And then when it's time to scale, they have the back end prepared, already ready to go to help them like lift off. Depending on what state you're in, you're averaging about 12.5% on what you pay out on taxes, insurance, all the different insurances that you have to pay out, right? So yeah, you don't have to pay out unemployment, you don't have to pay out FICA insurance, Medicare, Social Security, the things that business owners have to eat.
Roofs in the Box is not just limited to roofing or home improvement companies.
You can use it for any services, right? You can use it for IT. We use them internally for data sales, for hygiene, for analytics. It doesn't even matter what the vertical is.
It's like business in the box at the end of the day.
Pretty much, yeah.
Speaking of your brother Sal, right?
Yeah.
So I'm an only child.
Right.
And it's funny because now I have 3 kids. I don't even know how I got 3 kids, but I got 3 kids, right? I got 2 sons, so they're brothers, and I have a daughter who's 12 years old. And I can't wait to see them get older. I think one of my dreams, I guess any father's dream, is to have their kids go, like, if you're an entrepreneur, have your kid into business with you and at work. And that's hard, easier said than done, obviously. But how was the dynamics? I know, I didn't know you guys back then, but I heard that you guys in your early 20s, like you came in the scene, in the insurance scene in Florida, South Florida, and you guys just lit it up. You came in out of nowhere, like, who the fuck are these guys, man?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that dynamic, man.
Me and Sal started off, we worked at like 1 or 2 call center jobs. And then, I believe I maybe started working there first. I called Sal. I was like, hey, Sal, I'm doing a couple grand a week over here writing these sales. So I got Sal in there. And then, to be honest with you, I've always operated very under the radar, right? So for like 7 years, no one knew really like who I was. And then my name started popping up because obviously like we're receiving awards for certain things. We're getting recognition in certain places. They're like, who are the Hussain brothers? Like, who are these guys? So, essentially Sal is my hype man, right? He manages the entire sales organization, HR, dealing with all the employees of the company, the sales reps. And my job is to manage the tech and the marketing, right? So we complement each other in that way where he brings the people and I bring him the leads and I bring him the tech to dial those leads. So with that combination, we were able to really explode, and we're still exploding. We still, obviously he is my brother, right? So, obviously every brother, siblings, we have arguments all the time, but we always kept our arguments in the office. But when we left the office and came home, we're sitting at home, my mom's making dinner, we're just hanging out, chilling, right? Talking about random stuff. And then next day we focus on those office things. Obviously we talk about work at home, but we never really like go in on like work stuff at home, right? So we always kept our business relationship and our personal relationship a little bit separate. We could have a crazy day, right? He could be upset at me, I could be upset at him. But when we're at home, it's all normal. We're literally like, and it was kind of weird that we had these like split personalities, right? But we did that to keep our sanity, because we also have to maintain our relationship as well, right? Because at the end of the day, he is my brother. So I still look out for him in a way, and he still looks out for me in a different way. So if you are working with family, I really feel like one advice that I have, that I was able to maintain a relationship with my brother for 15 years of doing business with him, right? Because a lot of people have siblings where they fall out. I had an older brother fall out sibling, turned out to be a bad apple. He ended up screwing me regardless. But I didn't have that same type of relationship with him that I do have with Sal, right? And still to this day, we had that whole situation happen, and I still don't have a contract with Sal. Me and Sal have no contract. We exchange hundreds of thousands of dollars, no contract, none whatsoever. I don't care if Sal decides to take out 50K. If he took out 50K, there's a reason why he took out 50K. And I'll find out from him later. But if he needed to take it out, I'll take it out. If I take out 50K, hey, there's probably a good damn reason why I took out 50K. So it's not like there's never a question in our brain that one person's out to get another. And that's the beauty. But building that takes a lifetime. And the way, if you guys are just starting out and you guys are working with family, I really feel like being transparent is the number one thing. Being transparent and not making someone else feel left out of anything, right? Because that's when the differences happen within people's hearts. Hey, he did this without me, right? But if you tell him, hey, I'm going to go do this, I think it's better that if I do this solely dolly as having two people tag team it, because I feel like this is talking, right? Having that communication and being transparent and not having differences and resolving the differences immediately. Don't let the differences go on for a week or 2 weeks, because those things build stuff in people's hearts, right? And that's where more indifferences happen. So that's just my advice on working with family and having that personal relationship and having that business relationship. And me and Sal have it. So by having this event the way that it happened and the way that we were able to work really well with one another on coordinating like the hiccups, the good times, I really feel like we're due for a part 2.
Oh yeah, guys, that's the thing. We got such positive feedback from this event, and what we got, the feedback that we got was that, see, what made our event unique. Day one, we were at the mansion, we had an open bar, and you're networking, and you're all together with some heavy hitters, like affiliate, super affiliate of the year. We had a guy there that's doing $200 million a year in ad spend, right? Fucking crazy numbers. He's doing campaigns with 80 countries around the globe in Nutra. These are
he
people,
actually also owns some of his own offers as well.
Yeah.
So, being in a room with that guy, bro, at one point, I really felt like when we had our little mini break, it was all the dudes just surrounding him, pounding him with questions. Yeah. And he was really cool and opening up. And
awesome guy.
And literally just telling his sauce and be like, hey, this is what I do. If you want to get your own offer, you want to do this is how you build that out. Having that type of asset in the room and having access to that asset, it really opened my eyes to like, hey, this can be something like really huge, Yeah,
100%. And what I liked about is that we had that happy hour first night, and people like broke into their silos. You got the VSL guys over here, like the 3-4 VSL guys are here. You got the Econ guys here. You got the pay per call guys here, the lead gen guys here, age guys. Like it was all organic. It wasn't like, hey guys, now we're gonna break you up into this. It just fucking happened organically.
Who's doing pay per call?
Yeah.
Why don't you get on this side? No, it was just very organic, and people were essentially just helping one another, and it honestly became like it was like a family, right? So we turned it into like a family style. And like, hey, big brother, little brother type of thing. And honestly, we could even create like a whole mentorship program within each other, like how they do. I believe it's like they do it in like fraternities and where it's like a big brother, little brother type of thing. We can we can create something like that within this. We haven't even gone that far to think about that, but I think we're due for a part 2.
No, we are. We're thinking January, guys. And if you're interested in that, we're going to put a link here, put your email on there as you capture information. We'll keep you up to date, but more than likely it's going to be something either early or end of January. We'll keep people updated. But guys, I made money from that event in terms of not money off the event. We didn't charge people for the event.
Right.
We had sponsors. Shout out to Ring Buffer sponsor, Anchor Flight Calls, Econ Producers, Connection Holdings, my company. Man, we had a blast. And it was just, when I say how we made money and we made connections, there was people in there that they're hitting it on maybe final expense or something. All of a sudden I'm buying leads from them, right? Or I'm selling them leads here. And then just the information we got, the knowledge sharing was just fucking amazing.
I'll tell you how I benefited from the event.
Yeah.
So the way I benefited from the event is honestly like how anybody would benefit from the event. I was able to build bonds with guys that are doing even, bigger numbers than I am, right? Yeah. And ultimately, you never want to be the best guy in the room,
100%.
Right? You always want to be in the room where there's always someone bigger and better than you are because you have the ability to learn. So I was able to build bonds, and I was able to pick up. I'm able to pick up the phone and call some of these guys and be like, "Hey, I'm having this type of issue," or "Hey, how do I scale X amount of accounts all at one time?" And the tools that they're providing me, hey, you need this subscription, you need this. If you need a rep, let me know. I'll intro you to mine. And being able to have that whole, I can do it by myself, but it's the time. It's going to take me at least 6 to 8 months to first go through the pitfalls, figure out the pitfalls. They're telling me all their pitfalls. They're telling me this is what I did.
Collapse in timeframes.
Right.
100%.
And I'm able to save so much time by having someone explain to me how they did it and how they were able to overcome their hurdles and objections. So that's how I benefited from it. And I learned a lot on the media buying side. I learned a lot on scaling side. Most important part, like we had a whole thing on bid caps. And I'm not going to lie, I was not really a bid cap guy on Facebook. And bid caps crush. And they're like scalable, right? And I was able to get BidCap to work for pay-per-call.
Yeah.
And it's more of a lead gen type of thing, but obviously, like, you still have to test. I tested it, it failed. I tested it again, failed. I was able to find like a sweet spot. Once I found my sweet spot, I'm able to scale that with pay-per-call.
Yeah.
And I feel like lead gen is great, don't get me wrong, and one-to-one consent is going to be a little bit of a shaking thing for lead gen, and a lot of these big heavy honcho guys have that figured out on the back end. Some people don't have that figured out, and I still feel like pay-per-call will be prevailing from all of this.
100%.
And people will start shifting more over to pay-per-call because of the fact no one wants to get sued, right? No one wants to wake up in the morning and be like, oh, I want a TCPA, like people just want to conduct business, make money, and just keep things moving, right? I feel like pay-per-call is going to be a really big part of 2025. And Colombiacon, I feel like we had a pretty decent amount of pay-per-call guys there.
We did. And the thing that I liked about it, we had guys there that are doing $300,000, $400,000 a day in pay-per-call. And what I loved about it was that you could see light bulbs going off when they got ideas from somebody else. And we had the TikTok guy there, or the Jay over there.
Yeah.
He put on a fucking master class there, right?
Yeah.
So the point I'm trying to say is that was our second day.
I did what I did. I followed up.
It?
Oh, yeah.
So
amazing.
Think about that.
Amazing. He has crazy strategy. It works. And I'm using it. And I haven't had a TikTok account go down. His strategy works. And I'm able to provide those accounts to my team via his method. And my media buyers are happy. They're not calling me up saying, hey, I need a new account. At the end of the day, you want to make sure your team is good, right?
Yeah.
That's our job. Our job is to be like, hey, we're setting you up, and now you just need to work. Now, if they're constantly hitting you up for problems, then you're gonna have to, they're not gonna be able to make the money that you promised them initially. Hey, you're gonna be getting 25% ROIs every day, being able to have 20, 30K spend every day. Those are the numbers that they're looking for. And if they're coming to cause problems, you're gonna lose those media buyers.
Yeah, 100%.
So based on his little strategy, I was able to save my media buyers, keep them happy, and now they're in it for the long run. Right?
Yeah, that was win-wins, man. God, that was such a great event. People came out of that. It was 5 hours. We were locked in and upstairs, like with a beautiful view, and we're just brainstorming, coming with ideas. And what I liked about it, you and I partnered really well because listen, I'm not a media buyer. I'm a sales guy. I'm an entrepreneur. I know how to build business, put processes in place, right? Motivate fucking teams.
Mm-hmm.
So we complemented each other so well because you touched upon, you went into AI,
right.
You went into the media buying, the bid caps, all that stuff. So it was like a great 1-2 balance. And John Castle eventually came up, started moderating a little bit too. So
right.
It was such a great 1-2 combination, man. And
right.
I'm so grateful that you were there for that.
For sure.
The audience needed that.
For sure.
Yeah.
And the thing is it's all about relationships that I built in the past as well, because we've had, obviously, like you said, John Casto stepped in, right?
Yep.
Dennis helped out.
Everybody was great, yeah.
We even linked up with Dennis, a week before
Colombia. Oh, Soho House in Miami, yeah.
In Soho, in Miami, we linked up where we talked about, hey, look, this is an entirely media buying event. And I wouldn't consider myself media buying God, right? Obviously, everyone needs help at everything. So I said, hey, so we consulted with Denny because Denny crushed
He's a monster,
debt. Back in the day, refi. Now he's straight ecom. He knows what the hell he's doing. So we decided to, have him help us. And with all the people helping, it's more of a community.
Exactly.
And that's the type of ecosystem we're trying to build here. It's not just like, hey, come to the event and then like, all right, deucers. No, it's more like come to the event. We build a community. After Colombiacon, I held with our Colombiacon crew, I held a AI systems infrastructure, like a development thing, AI system development call. And we had about like 25 to 27 people on that call. And I talked, I sprinkled some nuggets in there on how to build AI applications with Claude, with ChatGPT, and not only just building them, but actually launching them. And if you want to deploy them, this is our steps to deploy them so your team can have those same tools.
Yeah.
So our goal is to not only have the Colombiacon, but also do upkeeps, right, with the team, with everyone that's in the community on what we're working on. Hey, this is the latest AI thing. You guys should hop on it. This is how we're implementing it. This is our use case. We want light bulbs to go off in people's head. So this is more of like a long-term thing, because at the end of the day, these people will end up working with one another in some way.
100%.
Right? And if someone can work within the ecosystem grows.
Yeah.
Right? Because they could take their money and take it out the ecosystem. We want the money to stay within.
Yeah.
So if this guy is buying from him, this guy's selling to him, this guy, keep it all within the ecosystem.
Yeah. We kind of, when I spoke there as an introduction, whatever, I talked about, this is like a cartel, man. This is what we do. We're this cartel, we're going to knowledge share, let's fucking grow together. And
right.
we still have our chat, all the people that were there, including a couple that couldn't make, a couple heavy hitters. Right. We're knowledge sharing to like every day. Someone's got a question and boom, it's amazing. Everyone responds, but quickly. And the thing is, that's really what it is. And that's the goal of LFG, Colombiacon, a community. How do we fucking grow together?
How do you grow?
And because, bro, lead gen business is just turbulent. There's always going to be some fucking change, a new regulation or this or that, or another vertical is hot here today, gone tomorrow. How do you see abreast? And I think the people that pivot successfully or quicker are the ones that are going to do the best, and they have the best advice. I mean, even like Ankur, man, this guy is it's beyond his campaigns that he does on flights. The guy's such a wealth of knowledge. He's talking about how to invest your money, how to turn $1 into fucking $10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's at the event. So I'm talking these communities, and it's not just about lead gen media buying. It's also about what do you do with the fucking money you make and how do you maximize that? So it was such a great event. And
yeah, really, I give it up to Ankur. I consider Ankur to be, I would say, one of the most sophisticated investors that I personally know. He's equivalent to like a Wall Street guy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Minus the craziness, right? Because Ankur is beyond not crazy at all.
Yeah, it's right.
He's very focused.
Yeah.
I learned a lot of things from him. And honestly, I would like for Ankur to speak a little bit about, he gave me a small little class on like treasury bills and how you can like, buy this and then at the end of the month sell it, and then you whatever percent that you make on top, you can have that go towards your rev and your ROI. So Walker even talked about it at Colombiacon. The 1-2% matter. If you can get 1-2% here, 1-2% here, now you're at 10%, right? But it doesn't come easy. It's not like you're gonna get a Hail Mary. Nothing's a Hail Mary. You have to be able to implement those small little things to get to that 10%.
They're like singles.
Right.
Chip away, single. Then you get a double, triple, you hit a home run.
Right.
But those singles are what add up. That's those 1%.
Right.
Yeah.
So this Colombiacon, I'm thinking maybe we do more of like, we talked about this. We had a media buyer focused Colombiacon. We still want to keep it a little bit media buyer focused, but we talked about bringing some heavy hitter buyers.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
We're gonna bring some advertisers to the next one.
Yes.
What other events are doing that? You come to our event, there are gonna be some advertisers ready to buy your leads there. That's what we're gonna do.
I think if we do something like have different verticals, and we would bring buyers for verticals that do well in Q1, Q2,
Yes.
right? we're not going to bring we're putting some thought into it. Why would we bring in a buyer that's Q4 where that relationship has synergy now? You're going to meet them in Q1. Ultimately, you would want to onboard them, start working with them immediately.
Yep.
That's kind of like our idea and our mindset with that, where we bring meaningful buyers.
Yep.
To people that, in the event, there is going to be someone that has ran that before, multiple people, where then they can knowledge share with one another. If someone who hasn't ran that particular campaign vertical, hey, this is how you do it. Because now we're looking at it as a team.
Mm.
I'm not sure if you watched, ever watched that movie Queen's Gambit,
No.
with the girl that plays chess?
Mm.
And in that was pretty much the way that she won that was because, and it's something that the Russians do, right? And she was playing against a Russian grandmaster champion.
Mm.
They were all in the room the night before helping each other on how they're going to beat this girl. And she did that same strategy where she had her American team from America on the phone with her, helping her on how they're going to, like, what possible outcomes can we do to beat that, right?
Mm.
So I feel like if we kind of have that mentality of that we are a team, we are a community. And I didn't feel like, oh my God, I don't want him to run that offer too. Like, there's enough money to be made in this industry. And I feel like that mindset is very important. And that's the mindset that we had at Colombiacon.
Yep.
Where it's not like, oh my God, no, like, I don't want him to get capped. Like, it's not a cap issue, right? Because it's pretty much, unless it's Medicare or like something crazy, but that's a different story. But most of these offers you can run, and we want everyone to be able to work together on cracking it, right? And that's what we have our chat for. Our chat is great. You know, we have people talking about tax. We have people talking about IRS stuff.
Forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. We just happened just yesterday.
Yeah.
Where someone talked about how they were able to clear something with the IRS, and they explain on how I did it. That's high level stuff. That's something that you're not going to find at a mastermind, or you're not going to find at ASW. No one's going to talk about. Yeah, they're not going to talk about. They're not going to talk about their issues with the IRS. You know, that's just something that happens because we build a community where someone can be open enough to share that about their experience and how they overcame it.
Yeah. I know a lot of you guys are doing pay per call. A lot of you guys have call centers. We got AI in the house. We got Neil Billick. He's the founder and the CEO of All Rise AI. They're doing big things. I'm a user of his service.
We are coming in immediately 4Xing contact rates for clients. What we found in my BPO when I ran it and deployed the AI was we had 30-second wait times before the deployment between connections. And my guys were making about 500 connections a day. Times 30 seconds, we were wasting 250 minutes a day per head in a call center.
That's 4 hours. That's half
4 hours,
day.
half their day, or half their wages being spent on them waiting for a call.
Yeah.
The reason your wait time's high is when you're calling out, you have an abandon rate you have to stay under of 3%. That's programmed in your dialer.
If the AI is weeding that out, and I think that's the benefit, it's collapsing time frames, it's helping your top producers produce, which is what you want them to do.
People are afraid AI is going to replace call center agents, and it may, but right now, use it to maximize your human resource. So leveraging it for the tools it can be to do exactly what you're saying. Let the humans do what they can do best. Let the AI get cursed out.
Yeah. God, listen, great stuff. I know that we're tied up for time here, but I was going to say, we'll put a link if you're interested in being part of Colombiacon too. We'll put a link here. You could submit your information. We'll keep you notified. Again, looks like it's going to be sometime early January or end of January. We'll come up with a firm date. And bro, we couldn't have done it without you. Like, you were such a huge partner. We're teaming up on this. This is our shit, man.
Yeah, thank you,
doing
man.
this together.
I really feel like I wouldn't be able to do it without you either, because the energy that you bring to the table is to another level. And I'm a really big energy guy. We obviously, in the call center game, it's all about energy, and your energy surpasses everyone else's. Just yesterday, you lost your voice. And I don't know what it is, a God-given gift. He's back today, and
I'm back like Jack, baby.
I didn't really think this podcast would happen today because, you know, I was like, how is David going to be able to talk? You called me up bright early in the morning. Hey, how you doing, bud? And I was just like, holy crap, let's fly. I'm like, oh, he's back. All right. So yeah, we're gonna put the link below. And like we did the previous one, we would like basically for people to fill out an application of some sort, and we will be essentially handpicking people. Obviously, the people that attended prior, they're essentially good to go. They'll be able to come on in. They're pretty much part of the family. They're grandfathered in at this point, and I'm looking forward to it. And we set the bar pretty high. We have to. We're gonna go a little.
We're going next level again. Advertisers. We have a handful of select picked advertisers that you could benefit from. There'll be new faces. We gotta get the $200 million guy there. Hopefully he'll be able to make it. But either way, it'll be a good crew.
So
man.
we also have some heavy hitters coming in from. I'm working on
international guys, right?
International guys. Well, guys that are Puerto Rican guys that live in Puerto Rico because of tax reasons. And these guys build their whole thing is building a company and just exiting, right?
Yeah.
So having those guys there, and there's a lot of guys in our industry have built some really great stuff. Now imagine if they have the guidance on being able to flip that, right? Get a 10x, just flip the whole thing. And that's what they specialize in. Mm-hmm. They specialize in building a company, having 4 years of returns, progressive returns, and then selling the entire thing for like 20, 30 million and exiting, right? And then moving to Puerto Rico and just paying what, 4% tax, right?
Yeah.
They have a system that works for them and they're just churning it over and over. So we want to be able to introduce that to our mindset, because our media buyers and just people who, generate a lot of revenues, they don't keep that revenue, man. Just spend it on dumb stuff.
Yeah.
We want to be able to have their investments. They can still buy the nice stuff, but also keep assets at the same time.
Yeah, and then you have an actual tangible asset, a company you can exit that you can sell for 5 to 10x, right? So this ties into the next thing. I mean, we're here in RoofCon, right? And there's a big wave right now in home improvement. There's a lot private equity, hedge fund money. Mm-hmm. And think about it. It's not a matter if, it's a matter of when you got to replace your roof. It's not a matter if, it's a matter of when your fucking HVAC is going to go to shit. Right. Yeah. It's not a matter if, it's a matter of when you're gonna have to replace your windows.
This is essentially like Medicare for home improvement, right?
Exactly.
Because at 65, you need Medicare, right? 64, 65, you need Medicare.
It's a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah. It's a matter of when. So everyone needs their roof replaced after what, 15, 20 years?
15, 20 years, yeah.
Right? So and this is like not just a once in a lifetime thing. This is every 15, 20 years, you're in that house, your roof has to get replaced. This is Medicare of home improvement, right? So we just had Milton, the hurricane just passed through here, right? There's a big influx of people that are looking for new roofs. Yeah. Who's going to fill those leads? So there's a big demand right now, and we're at RoofCon where it honestly smells like a little like Home Depot in there.
It does, man.
Shingles, and they got this roof, that roof. So our goal with this is you're here talking about your roof in the box. Can you talk a little bit about roof in the box?
So check this out, guys. Business owners, right? Everyone, you're a media buyer. A lot of our audience, media buyers. You're a business owner. You expenses, right? You got to watch your bottom line and make sure you're not pissing money out the window. So the cost of labor is through the roof in America, inflationary environment. So we have a business where you can do virtual staffing, and you can, instead of hiring an operations person in America for 80, 90 grand, we have people in Colombia, South America, Central America, you get them for a fraction of a cost. So we have 20 clients on this. We just started this company 2-3 months ago. We already have 20 clients. They're happy as fuck. We probably onboard another 20, 30 clients here. It's a great business, man. And what it comes down to is this. We are a lead gen company. We're in bed with these advertisers. How do we make more money with them? How do we add more value, right? The more value we add to them, the more money we're going to make. So now we're not just selling you leads. Now we have these back end services. They all want to save money. It doesn't matter if you're a fucking solopreneur or you have 1,000 people on your team. We all want to save money at the end of the day. So this has been a great show for us for that. We also have home direct marketing where we're doing lead gen. This ties into pay-per call. I think a lot of these home improvement companies are talking about pay-per-call because they're worried about this the one-to-one consent. So I think you're going to see pay-per-call blow the fuck up in February when this shit goes into effect at January 27th. And it's funny because 2 days ago, I'm like, fuck, do I even want to do pay-per-call anymore? Because we are so volatile, up and down like a motherfucker. And we had a very good day 2 days ago. And yesterday we had our best day ever in pay per call. That's why I posted that online.
I saw your thing with Adam.
Yeah.
Where you,
I'm going to get that go-to. I'm going to earn that shit, man.
Yeah.
It's not going to be given to me. I'm earning that bitch, man.
Yeah. So we're that goated thing. So I posted on my story a couple while back that I have some goals for 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is I want to launch a new campaign this year that I'm going to get goated on that one campaign. So we're expecting to hit that in half the time. So I'm looking forward to it.
That's awesome. Yeah. It's just great that you could exponentially grow with pay per call. It's like with me, I'm getting one day I'm frustrated as fuck. I'm talking to my CEO. Listen, we can't crack this consistently. I'm out, man. We'll just focus on the home improvement pay per call side, But hey, listen, I don't know if we cracked it yet, but it's not like the main focus of our business. Our main focus is web leads. We have age data. We have call centers, that kind of stuff. But hey, if we can make this work, that'll be awesome. But yeah, I think pay per call is going to be the massive in home improvement. You agree with that? And what kind of other trends do you see in pay per call, man?
To be honest with you, home improvement is a never ending. It's a never ending cycle, right?
I love it. Yeah.
So how can we tie in what we know, right? So I think we have to get a little bit more creative, right? And there are ideas that I have in my head, but it has to be implemented in a strategic way. And, pay per call, yes, but how are they going to be able to see your ads? Because look, like Facebook and these types of platforms, the costs are rising. It's not like we're getting better CPMs, we're getting better cost per clicks. It's all rising.
Yep.
How do we get in front of the customer's face, right? Obviously getting to their face, but in a way that they're going to be able to respond to you.
Yep.
So I feel like with creativity, getting in front of them in a way where they're going to be first able to respond and give you a call. So I'm not sure. Someone posted it in the Pelicon chat where they have like a car that like rides around that has like an ad that plays on top, and they have it riding around in different cities, and it's a DID.
And it's driving inbound calls?
Is the DID.
Wow, that's such a smart idea.
Right? So essentially having something like that for roofing, for solar, for different home improvement areas of zip codes that are part of their targeting. So Milton just came by right now. But being able to implement these things like this, that's the most important part, is the execution of it. This whole hurricane thing just happened, right? Yeah, you can run ads for it. You can target the people in those zip codes, yada, 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 right? Running ads is great. Now, but how do you actually effectively being able to do the whole car thing in one day, right?
Yeah.
Having the creatives made for the billboard for the car, or having a car wrap, or having something already made and deploying that into those areas and being able to drive inbound calls, right? And having the closers know on how to take those calls, right? The most important part is the opening on those calls. Those are not a standard lead. That's not that's a special lead, and they have to be handled in a special way.
Yeah. That's awesome. And you're right. That's something that I never heard of that. And the paper call revolution, Adam talks about how there's people doing 8 figures a year with newspaper ads to drive calls. So like, you think newspaper is dead, but there's still a lot of seniors, old school. They like to be out there in the backyard reading the newspaper, and they're like, fuck, it works well in the Spanish market. I'll tell you that 100%. But I never thought about that idea. And then you're right, with like storm chasing, gutter damage. I lived in South Carolina. These hailstorms were no jokes, man. They're destroying houses, cars. I mean, you get an idea like that, a car running around. Hey, did you just get banged up by, a car got fucked up or whatever? I didn't want to say fucked up, but they're going to use choice words to get the attention.
Right.
Bro, that's a great idea, man. But yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. Home improvement's very competitive, right? I'm shocked. I shouldn't be shocked, but I'm glad that we actually ever cracked this thing. And I know we're going to just crank this like we did solar. Mm-hmm. But the point is that you got to get innovative, come up with different ideas, because everyone's doing the same shit. How you step ahead is what it comes down to.
I agree.
Yeah.
And having that competitive edge, and which kind of leads me into our last segment, which is the AI.
Bro, I'm glad you said that. We'll wrap up on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So AI has been something that I've been meddling with for it's been like almost 2 years where I research AI. I build I build like the craziest applications for some of my friends that own like car dealerships, and they're at the auctions right now, mass buying cars based on the application I built for them, because they don't need to spend 4 or 5 hours in research before buying a particular car, right? They know that car that they're buying, they're going to make money on it. And I built all those things with AI. It's just, honestly, it's just late nights on the laptop and just learning. And by me doing that, I'm able to take a look at pay-per-call, take a look at lead gen, take a look at audiences a different way because of AI. What I really would like to talk about is a new thing that Claude just came out with, which is the model that controls your entire computer screen, right? And you're able to take that model, that AI model, and not only control your computer screen, but then it can also go back to itself and prompt itself, get the response, and then implement it in whatever you need to implement. So I recently built something that was going to help me media buy programmatically. Damn, I can't even say that word.
Programmatically.
Right. Programmatically. Had a long day.
Yeah.
And this essentially will do that, right? Yeah. So you can give it access to your ad accounts, you can give it access to everything, and you can essentially build an AI macro where you can every 30 minutes, every 20, 30 minutes, I want you to check Facebook, I want you to check Ringba, I want you to check RedTrack or whatever tracking platform you use. So that just came out, and I'm already able to build scenarios in my head on the use cases. And I feel like everyone should have that mindset going into 2025, because AI is the most important. There's a lot of things that we're doing in our call centers with AI, which we discussed a little bit about, on effectively managing and controlling the sales reps, right? Because there's one thing that is a given: sales reps that are on the phones, that are dialing, they're uncontrollable beasts. And they are very irrational. Yeah. They throw wild curveballs at you all day, but that's what also makes them a really good sales rep, right? So, but being able to control them and having accountability, right? So the AI provides accountability for their actions, and you can reward them or you can reprimand them. And I feel like right now, that's what we're using AI for right now, is also reprimanding media. Well, the media buyers, yes, we know their stats already, but more on the stuff that's harder to pull stats for.
Yeah.
And it's managing your teams with AI. So that's going to be a pretty big segment in Colombiacon too.
Yeah.
And I talked quite a bit about AI in Colombiacon, and
that was a hit. People loved it. That really that sparked everything.
Right. So it's got the light bulbs going off, and that's the most important part. And I want light bulbs to go off even more, and I actually get joy from that. You know, I get joy from like, okay, cool, because the idea that he's gonna look at it differently than I am, because everyone's brain works differently and everyone's experiences are different. So when he comes back with me with that idea that he has, it's then going to spark a light bulb in my head.
Correct.
Right. And then I'm going to then elaborate on how that sparked light bulb in my head, then it's going to spark a light bulb in his head. And at that point, we're all learning and growing. And AI is just a very beautiful thing. You have to be implementing it. AI is just, we talked a little bit about it, and I'm looking forward to getting the Colombia call center that you guys have up to speed on certain things. Like, you have the process, everything down packed. And because your call center is in Pereira, and we're based out of Medellín. Medellín's a little bit of a bigger city. And we talked about this a while, like, hey, come on over to Medellín and let's have that synergy. We in the same building, right? Be in the same building, going to your suite, my suite. Yeah. It's a proximity, right? And what that's going to do is proximity is very important. I want to touch upon proximity, because just how we're building this Colombiacon is being in the proximity of heavy hitters, right? So imagine having a call center in the same building, in the same proximity, right? I'm crushing, you're crushing, right? now we have synergy with one another and be like, hey, like, what did you do differently today on why you're crushing today?
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, fuck, I didn't think about that. So now I'm implementing those things, right? Hey, you're using AI for this. Hey, I think I could use AI for this. So being in the proximity, that definitely does help.
Yeah, no, it helps a lot. Man, there's so much to unpack there, but I love everything you said. And I can't emphasize enough, man. We're a great team, man, combo together. And
yeah, for sure. We're going to take LFG Media to another level. And I'm just, I'm in it for the roller coaster, man. It's going to be roller coasters and I want to be a part of it. And I want to crank it. I want to crank it up. I want to crank it up and I want to just go.
Yeah. Now we're going to do it. That's what we call the LFG Let's Fucking Go show, man.
Let's fucking go show.
But man, guys, a lot of knowledge here. So we'll put Samar's information, hit him up. And he's the good thing about him. He dives. He's a real student of this game. And he's always looking to get better. I've learned a lot from you, man, in a short amount of time. And it's only going to get better. So we'll put his information and we're going to put a link. If you're interested in Colombiacon too, like I said, like Samar said, it's going to be bigger and better than the first one. More heavy hitters, more knowledge, better, bigger and better community. And bro, that was our first one. For our first event. We did really, really well, man.
We did a good job.
Did a phenomenal job. So we'll have a link there for that. And also, guys, if you like this, what we talked about today, make sure you like, you comment, subscribe. We're a freight train here. We're going. It's going to get bigger and better. 25 is right around the corner, man. We're going to take this shit to the next level.
Yeah, it'll be a nice event. And I urge, if you are even just starting out in pay-per-call, we are going to have a small allotted for essentially people that are essentially a little bit new, the guys that are shy, the guys that don't want to come out, they're introverts. Guys, you got to change that. You have to change that.
Break out your comfort zone.
Have to get out your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And that's how you're going to build those relationships.
It is 100%.
So thank you so much, David, for this podcast.
Yeah.
And we're out here at RoofCon. We have another day and a half of this.
Yeah.
Show's a bit dry, not like our crazy
not
marketing
like the
shows.
regular,
But it's just, regardless of how it is, it just takes one connection.
That's all it takes. One connection, man. 100%.
You're not you can't come here looking for a heavy hitter. You gotta come here, look for the 1-2% that's gonna help you build
a little
and grow.
spark. That's all it is. Great way to end the show. All right, guys. Samar's information on there. The link to Colombiacon 2 is out there. Let's fucking go.